Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, NatCon. I want to say thank you to Yoram as I get started, and to Anna and to Rachel, who I was just visiting with backstage. It is always such a pleasure to be at the National Conservatism Conference. Yoram was reminding me that I was at the very first NatCon in the United States back in 2019, I think it was, and it's been all downhill from there, at least for me. It is always a pleasure to be here in a city that is characterized by much talk, much of it frivolous. The National Conservatism Conference has become known as a place where serious conversation happens about the most important political institution that we share, the Republic. And I want to attempt my own small contribution to that conversation today, and I thought I might start with a story. It's an old story. Maybe you remember it from your school days. I mean, a very old story. I'm thinking of the Epic of Gilgamesh from 2100 BC, among the oldest writings that we have recorded on 12 tablets of clay. These first few tablets rehearse Gilgamesh's exploits as a builder and a warrior and introduce us to a number of themes that become recurring hits in later mythology. He spurns a marriage proposal arranged by the goddess of love and then loses a friend in the inevitable revenge tour. But by the 9th and 10th tablets, things get a little more interesting. Gilgamesh develops a new fear, death, and a new obsession, overcoming it. He embarks on a mighty quest to find the survivor of the great flood, a sort of stand-in for Noah, with the purpose of asking him how to cheat mortality. The answer, Gilgamesh learns by tablet 11, is a plant that renews youth forever, a veritable tree of life. And armed with this knowledge, Gilgamesh makes a diligent search and eventually finds it, only to see the plant be consumed in the last instant by a serpent, that anti-human symbol of chaos and evil and corruption. And so Gilgamesh must return to his home of Uruk, still mortal, but still human. For ancient auditors, the moral of this story was plain. Our humanity is joined to our mortality. Our dignity is bound up with our frailty. Our human lives, as finite as they may be, are worth living. Or to put it in the resonant language of the Bible that has formed so much of our tradition, we're creatures, not deities. And that is no failing. We have these treasures in jars of clay, the Apostle Paul said. The glory of the creature is to display in all of his frailty the wonder of the Creator. It is not to be a god. That lesson has not been learned, apparently, by some of America's leading citizens. There's nothing new under the sun, as the Bible also says elsewhere, and the quest of Gilgamesh to cheat death may be the hottest thing going among the most powerful people in America today, the tech barons of Silicon Valley. Not content with addicting our kids to their gizmos or amassing fortunes the size of lesser European states, our tech elite has turned with rabid enthusiasm to artificial intelligence. They hail it as the greatest breakthrough for humanity since the Industrial Revolution, maybe the printing press. They predict it will centuple American economic output. They insist it will defeat China. They claim it will save the world. That's an actual quote. Of course, it will also make them additional ungodly sums of money, but that does not seem to explain the near religious fervor of AI's loudest advocates. There's something else going on here, something more ideological. No, only the less cautious articulate the real reason, what many quietly believe, that AI will reinvent human existence. The eugenicist Julian Huxley predicted this as far back as 1957. He wrote then that 1,000 million years of evolution would lead to a moment when man, harnessing his modern control of physical nature, would transcend himself, would achieve a new state of being. And many of today's technologists believe that moment is now. For Huxley, this was a religion all its own. I believe in transhumanism, he said. He coined the term. And so do untold numbers of today's tech class. That is the vision the religion, the ideology that animates so much of the breathless race for artificial intelligence and for general artificial intelligence and super intelligence and beyond, for the day when humans are no longer embodied beings at all, but live infinitely in the cloud. The technologists have discovered Gilgamesh's plant, they believe. The question is, can America survive their quest for immortality? Can the Republic? I suggest to you the answer is no, and for one simple reason. America is a nation founded on the idea of the common man. The American Republic is premised on his worth and his liberty, but the transhumanist ideal rejects the common man's worth, and artificial intelligence threatens the common man's liberty. To state it in the clearest terms, then, Americanism and the transhumanist revolution cannot coexist. And I submit to you, it's our job to see that Americanism wins. When it comes to transhumanist ideology, I'll admit to you, it does seem really easy to dismiss on one level. I mean, have you read the same articles that I have? All of these billionaires, ultra-rich, sleeping in pressure-controlled chambers and applying their youth serums and their special scrubs, taking 100 supplement pills a morning and monitoring their every bodily function. I mean, the picture, it really is fairly absurd. And anyway, if your friendly neighborhood billionaire wants to spend his fortune trying to live forever, I mean, why should I care? Do as you please. But there is a more sinister aspect to the transhumanist ideal, one that Julian Huxley, the eugenicist, inadvertently captured. When he wrote back in 1957 about the new kind of human existence that science would make possible, he was all too clear about just who would be leading humanity to this new and exalted state. The universe is becoming conscious of itself, he said, in a few of us human beings. Did you catch that? In a few of us. There's the clue. Huxley could wax eloquent about the universe, appointing man the director of the biggest business venture of them all, the business of evolution, much as today's transhumanists rhapsodize about living to the 25th century and curing every known disease for the uplift of mankind. But Huxley wasn't really serious about it, neither are they. What Huxley said that nature or the universe or whatever had given man the opportunity to redirect evolution, he didn't mean all men, any more than today's transhumanists believe that their billion-dollar health regimens will be accessible to all people. Huxley meant some men. He meant a few of us, the better sort, the anointed, the elite. And transhumanism is, when you think about it, a fundamentally elite project, by definition. It is all about overcoming the common and ordinary experiences of humankind. Common limits, common weaknesses, common lives, even common loves. The goal is to replace the common with something else, which means replacing common people. Consider the farmer, the assembly line man, the construction worker with his hard hat and hammer. All these men live by their bodies, by their labor. There's no place for them in the transhumanist utopia where all is silicon. They are precisely what must be transcended. Huxley was explicit about this, by the way. The quality of people, not mere quantity, is what we must aim at, he said. Science must deliver the right sort, who live the right kind of lives. Ugly and depressing towns are immoral, was another of his pronouncements. After all, beauty and aesthetics were what mattered, not people, not working people, for what could common men know of that refined excellence only a rare mind like Huxley's could confect? And here transhumanism shows its true ethic. The disdain for what they call human feebleness and infirmity turns out to be a disdain for humanity itself. Transhumanists disparage the body because it gives way. They dislike the limits of mind that prevent omniscience. They deprecate frailty and need and any aspect of human life that might make them dependent on another in any way. Anything, in short, that suggests they are creatures rather than gods. Like Gilgamesh, they seek the flower of immortality, but in consuming it, or attempting to, they become serpents instead. For make no mistake, at the heart of all this ambition is the will to power. The common man's dignity, please. The transhumanist types have nothing but contempt for the common man because they want to rule in his place. For good. Forever. Which brings me to that second strand of the American experiment, the common man's liberty. How has that been going for the last 20 years, can I just ask? Now you think about it. Every so-called innovation that the tech class has delivered in recent decades operates as a power transfer. And the power transfer is all one way, from us to them. Smartphones that addict our children. Social media platforms that monitor and record our every click, every pause, every purchase, every preference. Algorithms to turn our attention into a commodity and sell it over and again. There's virtually nothing you know about yourself that big tech does not also know and profit from, and entirely without your consent. They are in charge, not you. They control the information, much of the news and entertainment. They decide who can speak and who not, as many members of this conference have encountered. Now I just ask you, does that sound like liberty to you? The problem with the AI revolution, as it's currently going, is that it only entrenches the power of the people who are already the most powerful people in the world. Imagine a future, a not too distant future, I might add, where AI is deployed across the economy, across the country. We're well on the way to this future even now. And we're told by the AI boosters that the remarkable efficiencies will be astounding. Productivity like we've never seen. The paper will be written in seconds. The contracts drafted instantly. The algorithms will write themselves. But here's the flip side to that. Millions of Americans out of work. That's not a conspiracy theory, by the way. That's what the tech titans openly tell us. One CEO recently predicted half of entry-level white-collar jobs will be gone in the next 5 years. Let me say that again. Half of entry-level white-collar jobs gone in the next 5 years. Now think about this. There are 3.5 million truckers in this country, the real backbone of our commercial economy, and twice as many more who earn their living driving for outfits like Uber, and even more who drive taxis or delivery trucks. Self-driving vehicles will put all of them out of business near instantly. Then the earthquake will reach manufacturing, AI-enabled robots that will automate entire sectors of the U.S. economy. And then the service sector, which I mentioned a moment ago, those entry-level jobs at McDonald's or Wendy's, gone. Banking jobs, teller jobs, gone. Customer service jobs, gone. Now the AI enthusiasts, I'm sure you've heard them, they'll rush to say, oh, all of this will be made up in a moment. We'll do so much better. We'll replace all of these poor, pathetic jobs with something new and better and bigger. My only question is where? I mean, where exactly are the jobs supposed to come from? What are they going to be? Sweeping floors at data centers? Mining for rare earths and minerals in Greenland? I mean, what exactly is the future that they're promising? Here's my point. AI is fulfilling transhumanist goals, whatever its boosters may personally believe. And if it proceeds in this way undirected, if it proceeds in this manner unchecked, the tech barons, already the most powerful people on the planet, will be more powerful than ever. I mean, that's obvious. We will find ourselves contending with a caste system of a new and cruel type. Genetically modified, perfect humans ruling over imperfect ones, all with the help of the most powerful technology yet known to man. Now, I submit to you whatever else that is not liberty. Thus far, the AI revolution is proceeding on transhumanist lines. It is working against the working man, his liberty and his worth. It is operating to install a rich and powerful elite. It is undermining many of our cherished ideals. And if that keeps on, AI will work to undermine America. But this is only one possible future. It need not be the future. We can achieve something different, and we must. It's time to change the game. It's time to make AI work for people, not the other way around. Make it work to enhance our liberty, not destroy it. Make it work to protect our livelihoods and not dismantle them. But to conform this new technology to our oldest principles will require action. And it will require action quickly. And I want to suggest a few efforts along the following lines. First, I submit to you, we need to guarantee the right of every American to pursue a vocation. And a vocation is something more than sweeping the floor of a data center. It means meaningful work by which a man can provide for himself and his family. A good job is not an ornament to a life well lived. It is the heart of it. A man who cannot work, a man for whom there is no good work available, who cannot support a wife or children, who cannot provide for his future, who cannot enjoy any measure of independence or the satisfaction that comes from earning a living, that man is not free. And we must not allow that to be the fate of men and women in the United States of America. Look, when God created Adam and Eve, what's the first thing he did? Gave them something to do. He gave them purposeful work. He gave them a vocation. And we should commit ourselves now together as a society to seeing that meaningful work is available to every able-bodied American. AI can be used to make workers more productive, to encourage and multiply their labor. That's a good thing. But it must not be used simply to replace them. Most jobs should be reserved for humans. Only humans ought to drive cars and trucks, for example. Only humans should enter into contracts. Only humans should advise on critical medical treatments or act as legal agents. I'll say it again. AI should serve human beings, not the other way around. Second, I believe Americans should have the ability to defend their human data and their rights to that data against what is amounting to the largest copyright theft in the history of the world. Millions of Americans have spent the last 2 decades speaking and engaging online. I bet that includes everybody in this room. Many of you have online profiles and writings and creative productions that you care deeply about. You invested enormous amounts of time in, and rightly so. It's your work. It belongs to you. But get this. AI right now, the AI large language models have already trained on enough copyrighted works to fill the Library of Congress 22 times over. Let me just put a finer point on that. AI's LLMs have ingested every published work in every language known to man already. So, as I look out across the room and see many authors, all of your works have already been taken. Did they consult you? I doubt it. Did they compensate you? Of course not. This is wrong. This is dangerous. I say we should empower human beings to protect the very human data that they create. How do we do it? Assign property rights to specific forms of data. Create legal liability for the companies who use that data. And finally, let's fully repeal Section 230. Open the courtroom doors. Allow people to sue who have their rights taken away from them, including suing companies and actors and individuals who use AI. Third, we must add sensible guardrails to the emergent AI economy and hold concentrated economic power to account. Listen, these giant companies have made no secret of their ambitions to radically reshape our economic life. I mean, they're doing it as we speak. We ought to at least require transparency and reporting, say, every time they replace a working man with a machine. I mean, the American people should know. How is industry proceeding? What jobs are being taken? Who is replacing whom with what? And the government should inspect all of these frontier AI systems so we can better understand what the tech titans plan to build and to destroy. Ultimately, when it comes to guardrails, protecting our children should be our lodestar. I say that as the father of 3. You may have seen recently how Meta greenlit its own chatbots to have sensual conversations with children. Yes, you heard that correctly. And I do mean children, 8-year-olds. Meta's own internal documents permitted lurid conversations that no parent would allow to take place. And most tragically, ChatGPT recently encouraged a troubled teenager to commit suicide. Told him exactly how to do it. Provided the instructions, step by step. We absolutely must require and enforce rigorous technical standards to bar inappropriate or harmful interactions with kids. And we should also think seriously about age verification for chatbots and agents. We don't let kids drink or drive or do 1,000 other harmful things. The same standards should apply to AI. Fourth and finally, while Congress gets its act together to do all of this, we can't kneecap our state governments from moving. where they need to move. Some of you may have seen there was a major effort in Congress just a few months ago to ban states from regulating AI in any capacity for up to 10 years. A whole decade is a lifetime and more when it comes to AI development. This terrible policy was very nearly adopted in the reconciliation bill this summer, and it would have thrown out state by state anti-porn measures, child online safety laws, regulations on smartphones, and more. I mean, you think about that. Conservatives out to destroy the very concept of federalism that we say that we cherish. And all in the name of what? Big tech? We killed that measure on the Senate floor, and we ought to make sure that that bad idea stays buried. Here's the bottom line. We have faced technological disruption in this country before, often. This is the United States of America. We excel at new and innovative. But we've always acted to make sure that technology served us, we the people. A powered flight changed travel forever, but you can't land a plane on a driveway. Splitting the atom fundamentally changed our view of physics, but nobody expects to run a personal reactor in their basement. The internet completely recast communication and media, but YouTube will still take down your video if you violate somebody's copyright. By the same token, we should demand that AI empower Americans, not destroy their rights or their jobs or their lives. The Epic of Gilgamesh, it's a cautionary tale. Those who try to transcend their humanity risk losing it altogether and enslaving everyone around them. But that story in the end is not a dispiriting one. We are, when all is said and done, creatures, not gods. And that's a good thing. Our frailties teach us humility. Our shortcomings instruct us in perseverance. Our sufferings teach us to have compassion for those who suffer. Our limits make us something better than powerful. They make us good, and they keep us free. Because there's only one God, we allow no man or class of men to rule over us. We rule ourselves together as equals. That is the American way. It always has been. Let's keep it so for this age and beyond. God bless you. Thank you so much for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, there'll be a 30-minute coffee break.